Have you ever wondered why some people seem to always have their money working for them? Well, it's not just about how much they make, it's also about how much they spend. Stick around, because we're going to reveal these key expenses that the wealthy steer clear of, and trust me, these tips can transform your financial life. Before we jump into it, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It helps us a lot and ensures you never miss out on valuable content that can boost your journey to success. Now let's get into it. Building wealth isn't solely about earning a massive income or hitting it big in investments. It's also about managing your resources wisely. Many people picture the rich as carefree spenders, enjoying luxurious yachts, designer outfits, and expensive cars. However, in reality, many wealthy individuals practice frugality and are very intentional about their financial choices. They know that wealth is often built by avoiding unnecessary expenses. The truth is, staying rich requires discipline in spending. In this video, we'll explore the 8 key expenses that most wealthy people avoid, and why following their example can help you build a more secure and prosperous financial future. Expense number 1. Unnecessary luxuries and trends. We often imagine that the rich live their lives surrounded by the latest gadgets, designer clothes, and fancy cars. However, many wealthy individuals are surprisingly cautious about how they spend on luxuries. While they can afford these items, they know that most luxuries are depreciating assets. Let's take cars, for example. According to experts, a new car can lose as much as 20% of its value in the first year alone. Many wealthy people understand this and prefer to drive reliable vehicles that may not be the flashiest, but they last long and serve the purpose. Warren Buffett, one of the world's richest people, is known to drive a modest car despite his immense wealth. He prioritizes investments over luxury vehicles. Similarly, trends like the latest smartphones or high-end fashion are areas where rich people tend to hold back. Rather than constantly upgrading to the latest gadgets, they look for value and durability. A classic example is the minimalist wardrobe. Many wealthy individuals stick to timeless, quality pieces rather than buying into fleeting fashion trends. They know that looking wealthy doesn't mean spending excessively on fashion, but rather investing in pieces that offer longevity. Avoid purchasing luxury items or following trends just to fit in. Instead, focus on high-quality, practical purchases that offer long-term value and appreciate over time. Expense number 2. Impulse purchases are one of the most common ways people lose control of their finances. The sudden temptation to buy something because it's on sale, because it looks exciting, or because it offers instant gratification can be hard to resist. However, wealthy people tend to have a strong hold over their impulses and avoid this kind of unnecessary spending. Impulse purchases are often emotionally driven. It could be the excitement of a sale, a limited-time offer, or simply wanting something because others have it. But rich people think long-term. They ask themselves, does this purchase align with my financial goals? If the answer is no, they hold back. A key part of managing wealth is delayed gratification. While many people may purchase a high-ticket item immediately after receiving a paycheck, wealthy individuals will often wait, research, and determine if the purchase is necessary. This practice allows them to funnel more of their resources into savings and investments. It's not uncommon for them to follow the 30-day rule. If you want to buy something non-essential, wait 30 days. If you still want it after a month and it fits into your budget, then you can consider purchasing it. This simple habit can help you make more thoughtful long-term decisions and curb emotional spending. Practice delayed gratification by avoiding impulse purchases. Before making a non-essential purchase, wait 30 days to determine if it's truly necessary. Expense number 3, high-interest debt. The impact of high-interest debt on your finances can be massive. It's one of the biggest hurdles for people trying to build wealth. Many individuals get trapped in cycles of paying off credit card balances, payday loans, or financing expensive purchases with high-interest loans. The wealthy, however, are cautious when it comes to borrowing money. Credit card debt, in particular, is a common pitfall for many people. With interest rates ranging from 15 to 25%, carrying a balance on a credit card can quickly eat into your financial resources. Wealthy people avoid accumulating this type of debt because they understand that paying interest is essentially giving away money that could have been invested. Instead, the wealthy use debt strategically. They borrow money at low interest rates to finance investments that will generate returns. For example, they might take out a low-interest loan to purchase real estate, start a business, or invest in a project that promises future growth. They understand the difference between good debt, debt that generates a return, and bad debt, which is used for non-essential expenses. Avoid high-interest debt at all costs. If you're currently carrying high-interest balances, focus on paying them off as quickly as possible. Only borrow money if it will help you generate income or build wealth. Expense number 4. Expensive housing. Owning a massive, luxurious home is often considered a symbol of wealth. However, many wealthy people choose not to overspend on housing. They know that buying a home beyond their means can limit their ability to invest in other areas. While real estate can be a good investment, it's important to be strategic about it. Buying the biggest, most expensive home may seem like a good idea, but it can come with hefty mortgage payments, maintenance costs, and taxes. All of these expenses can significantly reduce the amount of money you have available to invest in other wealth-building opportunities. Rich people tend to avoid overextending themselves with large mortgages. Instead, they often buy homes that fit their needs, with an eye toward long-term value appreciation. For instance, they might prioritize homes in up-and-coming areas where property values are expected to rise. This way, they ensure that their homes are not only a place to live, but also a smart investment. Warren Buffett, despite his wealth, still lives in the modest home he bought in 1958 for $31,500. He could easily afford a mansion, but he understands that a house is a place to live, not a financial burden. Be mindful of your housing expenses. Buy within your means and think about the long-term value of your property. Avoid overextending yourself with large mortgages that could limit your ability to invest in other areas. Expense number 5. Lavish entertainment. Entertainment is one area where many people spend far more than they realize. Whether it's going out to fancy dinners, attending concerts, or spending money on frequent vacations, entertainment costs can add up quickly. However, wealthy people often avoid excessive spending on entertainment and are more selective about where they invest their leisure time and money. It's not that rich people don't enjoy entertainment. They do. However, they recognize that frequent splurges on lavish activities don't necessarily contribute to long-term happiness or success. Instead, they invest in experiences that align with their goals, such as attending networking events, educational conferences, or spending quality time with loved ones. For example, instead of spending money on frequent, expensive vacations, many wealthy individuals may take fewer trips but make them more meaningful, perhaps with a focus on relaxation, learning, or cultural experiences. They also value spending time on activities that contribute to their personal growth, such as reading, meditating, or exercising. A great example is Mark Cuban, who has shared that he spends money on experiences and books rather than on expensive cars or watches. He understands that investing in personal growth and knowledge pays long-term dividends. While it's important to enjoy life, be selective about where you spend your money on entertainment. Focus on experiences that contribute to your well-being, growth, or relationships, rather than splurging on frequent, lavish activities. Expense number 6. Frequent dining out. Dining out is one of those silent expenses that can easily add up over time. Many people don't realize just how much money they spend on restaurants, coffee shops, and takeout until they sit down and look at their budgets. While wealthy people can afford to eat out regularly, many choose not to. They understand that cooking at home is not only healthier, but also far more cost-effective. The difference between eating out and cooking your own meals can be substantial. For example, a meal at a restaurant can easily cost $20 to $30 per person, whereas cooking a meal at home might cost a fraction of that. Rich people tend to view dining out as an occasional treat rather than a regular habit. By limiting their restaurant visits, they save a significant amount of money that they can then invest elsewhere. Additionally, they often prioritize health, which is easier to control when cooking at home. Studies show that people who cook at home tend to have better control over their portion sizes and make healthier choices, which can also lead to long-term savings on healthcare costs. Limit how often you dine out and consider preparing more meals at home. It can save you money over time and contribute to a healthier lifestyle. Expense number 7. Overpriced education. Education is one of the most important investments a person can make, but that doesn't mean it needs to be expensive. Wealthy people value education but are strategic about where they invest in learning. They often avoid paying for overpriced programs or degrees that don't offer a clear return on investment. For example, while prestigious universities may provide an excellent education, the cost of attending can be astronomical. Many wealthy people understand that a successful career or business is built on practical knowledge and skills, not just a diploma from a well-known school. In many cases, the rich prioritize self-education through reading, online courses, and mentorships. These methods of learning are often much more cost-effective and can provide just as much value as a traditional degree. Many wealthy entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and Mark Zuckerberg famously dropped out of college to focus on building their businesses. Furthermore, in today's digital age, there are countless opportunities for affordable education. Platforms like Coursera, Udemy, and LinkedIn Learning offer courses from top universities and experts at a fraction of the cost of traditional education. Be strategic about your education expenses. Focus on learning that will provide a tangible return on investment for your career or business, and consider alternatives to expensive degree programs when possible. Expense number 8. Status symbols. Perhaps one of the most surprising things about wealthy individuals is their approach to status symbols. While many people assume that the rich indulge in designer bags, luxury watches, and high-end cars to show off their wealth, the reality is quite different for many of them. Rich people understand that real wealth isn't about outward appearances. It's about financial security and freedom. They don't feel the need to prove their wealth to others through material possessions. In fact, many of the world's richest individuals live relatively modest lifestyles compared to their net worth. Take, for example, Mark Zuckerberg, who is known for his simple wardrobe of plain t-shirts and jeans. Despite being one of the wealthiest individuals in the world, he doesn't spend money on designer clothes or flashy cars. Instead, he focuses on building his company and investing in projects that have a meaningful impact. Many wealthy individuals avoid the trap of keeping up with the Joneses. They recognize that spending money on status symbols often leads to financial stress and doesn't provide long-term satisfaction. Avoid spending money on items designed to impress others. Focus on building real wealth and financial freedom rather than chasing material status symbols. So, there you have it. 8 expenses that most rich people avoid. It's not always about making more money, but learning how to manage it wisely. By cutting out these unnecessary costs, you can start to build a more secure financial future, just like the wealthy do. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It helps us create more content like this and keeps you on track to achieve your financial goals. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.